The Greensleeves is obliged to sing. First may I say that it is indeed an honor and a privilege for you to be here. Man, don't sing for bread alone, Shakespeare. So I hasten to add that all proceeds from this album will come home. When you're old and tired of singing, you know where you can go. Many bold and beautiful ladies have been immortalized in folk songs. Molly Malone, Fancy Carter, Aura Lee, Bo Peep. But my favorite is just plain Betsy. Oh, do you remember what Betsy was like? She crossed the big campus on her racing bike. She'd attend formal dances in sneakers of blue. She's the very first beatnik that I ever knew. She's the very first beatnik that I ever knew. She had Navajo bracelets, a bullfighter's flask, 2 bongos, 1 guitar, and a witch doctor's mask. Black leotard sloppy, an album by Saul, and an autograph copy of Das Kapital. Her hi-fi played opera at ear-splitting sound. She sang every folk song from Greensleeves on down. The wild abstract painting she knew at a glance, and she was expert at interpretive dance. She was expert at interpretive dance. When she finished school, Betsy said, "Listen, girls, before some square swine I'm not casting my pearls. Now you can all marry, but that's not my goal. Like I'm off to Gay Parry to search for my soul." Like I'm off to Gay Parry to search for my soul. 'Twas just 5 years later I happened one day to visit the suburbs, and to my dismay, 'twas there I found Betsy, 5 kids and a spouse, 2 small cars, 1 big dog, and a split-level house. 2 small cars, 1 big dog, and a split-level house. I said, let's cut out for some cool village den. We'll fall by and pick up on cats reading Zen, and dig some espresso, then ace out again. She said, I don't guess so, I've stockings to mend. She said, I don't guess so, I've stockings to mend. I said, grab your sneakers and let's make that scene. Said Betsy, no thank you, the house I must clean. Then I take the kids to the dentist today, and I only wear sneakers when tennis I play. And I only wear sneakers when tennis I play. So that ends my story of Betsy the Beat. She says she is happy and life is complete, but I heard her whisper as she closed the door, it's like, man, my old leotards don't fit no more. Many songs tell of that promised land or that Shangri-La that we all look for. And I'm very sorry to say that just last year, Big Jolie Chase, the vagabond king, finally found his resting place. He's gone to that faraway land where night and day are all the same, and a man can sing and play all the time. Yes, Big Jolie has gone to Las Vegas. And now, this song, it's about a different kind of paradise. Oh, the vagabond tramp used to sing of a camp in a mountain of rock candy. So we'll borrow his theme for a similar dream, about a home that's just as dandy. It's quite a sight, all painted white. It's rent-free, but you can't buy it. For to be the resident, you must be the president. And there's some who would love to try it. Oh, the busy GOP neath the cherry blossom tree, where you see gold waters standing, and near the far and 8th spring, while the Democrats sing in the big Jack Kennedy mansion. Now the attic must be filled with dust and lots of old mementos, a colonial lamp and a force-on stamp. I quite forgot they made those. A boxing glove to cow with love, and Grant's old oaken bathtub. Some Rough Rider spurs marked his and hers, and one old broken golf club. Busy GOP neath the cherry blossom tree, where you see gold water standing, near the far and 8th spring, where the Democrats sing in the big Jack Kennedy mansion. The conservative mob says give us the job and we'll lighten the taxes first thing, and at the very same time make salaries climb, but we'll tighten up all the purse strings. So come on, Jack, and start to pack. Please give us your front door key. Maybe with the help of Barry, our old elephant can carry a much cheaper load than your donkey. Busy GOPs neath the cherry blossom tree, where you see gold water standing, and near the far and 8th spring, where the Democrats sing in the big Jack Kennedy mansion. Says Uncle Sam, I'm the landlord and I insist on some conditions. You can decorate, you can renovate, you can knock out the old partitions. You can move the stairs, recover the chairs, and paint all the bright rooms duller. But my nephew and my niece, I have written in the lease that you can't change the outside color. Busy GOPs neath the cherry blossom trees, where you'll find gold water standing, near the far and 8th spring, where the Democrats sing in the big Jack Kennedy mansion. Now in 64, just a little while more, our tenants I should mention will have to move unless we approve a new 4-year extension. Or maybe we'll rezone it so the man from Arizona has more room to build his ranch in. Or maybe we'll take sides with a fellow who resides in the big Rockefeller mansion. Busy GOPs neath the cherry blossom trees, where you'll see gold water standing, near the far and 8th spring, where the Democrats sing in the big Jack Kennedy mansion, in the big Jack Kennedy mansion. The true folk song, as you know, is what we call a gift song. Just last week, Bad Smitty, he sent a song down to Washington. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, or next time they will vote for Dick. Now, such a song was written by my friend Good Smitty, and he sent that down to Washington also. It's a beautiful love ballad. These are the original words. In Washington City, down at the FCC, was where I first met him, the jolly Minnow. His first name was Newton, and he came out shooting, crying coppers and marshals, they all gotta go.
Crying coppers and marshals, they all gotta go.
There's just too much violence and not enough silence. Replace those old movies from midnight till dawn. Instead of sensation, show a live demonstration of our capsules and missiles with Werner von Braun.
Of our capsules and missiles with Werner von Braun.
Or perhaps we could start in by asking Dean Martin to ask Sammy Davis if he'd intervene in getting Sinatra to lecture in opera, singing concerts by Mozart. Oh man, what a scene.
Singing concerts by Mozart, oh man, what a scene.
Broadcasting's your business, but you put emphasis too little on casting and too much on broads. The girls look indecent in gowns that are recent. Give them collars and bustles, and I will applaud.
Give them collars and bustles, and I will applaud.
I'll mention in closing that I am proposing with your advertising to really get rough on those individuals collecting residuals, selling gargles and nasals and greasy kid stuff, selling gargles
and greasy kid stuff.
Said the network, our sponsors are really not monsters. We both know it's their dough, so why go berserk? There's no use debating without a good rating. No more shekels, commercials, and we're both out of work.
No more shadows, commercials, and we're both out of work.
Now across the vast wastelands of TV's bad taste lands, the minnows and big fish, let's leave 'em alone. And as for this poor verse, it could have been much worse without cockles and mussels and The blues really began in folk music, with such great blues tunes as Blue Tail Fly, Alice blue gown. And 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. They are blues numbers. And of course, this next one, which was made famous by Blue Seymour Castoff. Now, Franklin and Johnson were clothiers. They had Ivy League school clientele. Now, one evening as they were closing, a big freshman starts to yell, "My blazer, man! You've done it all wrong. Now your hankies and jammies are lovely, and you have the best argyles in town. But as for your coats, they are just too gauche. I'd sooner wear starch in my button-downs than to wear this blazer, man. Both you had done it all wrong." Now, frankly and honestly, brother, I just don't think that you took time enough. 'Cause the bottom seams don't match each other, and you left out the stripes above on my blazer, man. Yes, you have done it all wrong. Now the Frankenstein monster's own mother wouldn't know him in colors like these. Now the purple and the orange, they're goofy enough, but just look at them crazy green sleeves on my blazer, man. I'm not doing folk songs. Now Franny and Zooey's hardcover had a dust jacket finer than yours. With that, Mr. Franklin hit the ceiling, and Mr. Johnson went right through the floor about our blazer, man. You're speaking too strong. Just then the cranky and ornery old tailor, from the old back room, he gave a shout. "You tell a smart young fool from the fancy school that he's got it on inside out." Now that's a blazer, man. Would I be doing him wrong? There are many legendary hero songs. All folk music lovers know that. John Henry, the railroad man. Paul Bunyan, the great woodsman. Bull Copeland, the giant of the Yukon. Now, Dr. George Udell, the eminent folk mythologist, claims that these men were real people, that they existed. And so recently, two young walking or strolling singers, as we call them, Perry Cross Country and Robin Hood Shanks, completed a research trip. After 2 years of retracing those same trails and mountain regions laid down in Dr. Udell's book, they proved positively that there was no such person as Dr. George Udell. Now the greatest of the legendary hero songs. John Glenn, he said to the captain, "Now an astronaut ain't nothing but a man, and before I let them Russians beat me down, gonna fly with a capsule in my hand, Lord, Lord, gonna fly with a capsule in my hand." John Glenn, he went to Canaveral, and they started that big countdown. They counted 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, blast off! 3, 2, 1, 0, blast off! Then they lit that big firecracker, and they shot him into outer space. Johnny felt all alone, so he picked up the phone and said, "I know that this must be the place, Lord, Lord. I know that this must be the place. Now the captain called, "Hey Johnny, tell us what you got to say." Johnny said, "I wouldn't dare, 'cause I know we're on the air, so I'll say that everything is A-OK, Lord, Lord. I'll say that everything is A-OK. Will I really get straight home as Johnny? Or are you cats just putting me on? Said the captain, sit tight, you'll be home by tonight. Or my name ain't Werner von Braun, Lord, Lord. My name ain't Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun? Is he any kin to Voodoo Rothman? So they landed him in the ocean, and the captain said, a perfect hit. But old Johnny replied, that's the first time I tried, and I didn't like it one bit, oh Lord. No, I didn't like it one bit.
John Lenny, John Lenny.
Now the captain said to Johnny,
Hey Johnny,
boy, everything went real well. Said old Johnny Glenn, now that I am home again, you can all go straight to the moon, Lord, Lord, and it looks like he'll be going soon.
Lord, Lord.
John Glenn, he was a rocket driving by. No folk song program would be complete without at least one folk song. Now here is my favorite, what we call work song or cotton song. They're known as this because it takes an awful lot of work to put these cotton picking songs together. I learned this one from my friend in the South, Colonel Sour Mash Rosendash, who the colonel just loved his old cotton gin. Now, college boy, why look so quizzical? My draft board called me for my physical. Jump down, spin around, 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 and turn your head a little now, jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough, jump down, spin around, turn your head and jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough. I got pains all through my system.
Gee, I guess our X-ray missed them.
My reflexes are abnormal.
That's okay, we're all informal.
I require a special diet.
Oh, that's peachy. We all try it.
My doctor said you would excuse me. He goes in a week from Tuesday.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head a little. Gotta jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough.
Feet apart, read the chart, let me listen to your heart.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough.
I'm a scientific major.
You'll become the cook, I'll wager.
I have engineering talents.
You have garbage cans to balance.
But I'm in fourth year economics.
That's just great.
We need more comics.
Did you notice my high IQ?
I sure did. That's why I like you.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head a little. Gotta jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough.
Eyes right, face the light. Now I'm gonna check your bite.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough.
I am subject to hysterics.
Oh, they'll love you in the barracks.
What about advanced curriculum?
We don't care. We're not particular.
I would rather join the Peace Corps.
You should have thought of that before.
What'll become of my Mercedes?
She stays home, we don't take ladies. Jump down, spin around, turn your head a little. Gotta jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough.
Face left, take a breath. Maybe you're a little deaf.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough.
Suppose I missed my pre-med finals.
You can help us with the spinal.
I was due for graduation.
You have our congratulations.
The football team just made me captain.
You can tell that to the chaplain.
Didn't you see my broken shoulder?
Salute when you ask a question, soldier.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head a little. Gotta jump down, spin around, turn your head and cough. Bend your wrist, make a fist, go see the psychiatrist. Feet apart, read the chart, let me listen to your heart. Eyes right, face the light, now I'm gonna check your bite. Face left, take a breath, maybe you're a little deaf. I would like to volunteer.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head a little.
Hey, Sarge, we got a live one here.
Jump down, spin around, turn your head, cough.
Folk songs, are very much like old jokes. The words are constantly changing, you all know that. The old song, for example, that we now call Barbara Allen was originally entitled Clyde Smith. So you can see the drastic change that took place there. However, there's only one version of this famous lament. As I was out riding one evening off campus, I spied a big jaguar a-cruising along. Its top was rolled down and a sophomore was singing. And as I approached, he was singing this song. Oh, Zen Buddhism, existentialism, Pablo Picasso and Marcel Proust. Oh, nuclear fission and social condition. To which talk his girl replied, man, are you juiced? 'Twas easy to see she was no intellectual. As far as she knew, Sigmund Freud was cold beer. But he didn't know he appeared ineffectual, and so he kept right on a bend in her ear. Have you read Plato, and what about NATO? Is Egypt's economy starting to sag? And then he'd rave on about Bard of Avon, until the young lady said, man, what a drag. She said Plato's movie I thought was real groovy, and as for Dostoevsky, I'm hip, he's a clown. Shakespeare is unusual, but he can't hit like usual. Picasso sings crazy, but Frank puts him down. So let's go dancing, have a little romancing, listen to records or go to a show. But if you keep talking, I'm gonna start walking. So whatever you're selling, the answer is no. The patches here on my sleeve are the autographed mementos from the various sing-off contests, the championship sing-off contests that we hold. Here's one of the earliest here. It's signed Henry VIII. It says, dedicated to that great baritone. Good luck, Hazel. From the boys at the diner.
Greensleeves, with thy hair of silver, thine heart of gold, wouldst thou tell us, please tell us, who's the greatest of all folk singers?
And who else but me, Eddie Greensleeves? Alas, dear lover of true folk songs, if thou wouldst know my history, don't talk or whisper or breathe too strong. The Greensleeves is obliged to sing to thee.
The Greensleeves is obliged to sing to me.
My sleeve was worn by that master singer, a minstrel of Middle Ages. He had a quartet called the Medieval Swingers, better known as the Four Yellow Pages. Contracts rose and his agent said, kid, you will sing before good King John and Queen Alice. So he quit the pages and did a single, the first act to bomb at the palace.
Was the first act to bomb at the palace. Greensleeves, with thy hair of silver, thine heart of gold, wouldst thou tell us, please tell us, who's the greatest of all folk singers?
And who else but me, Eddie Greensleeves?
Did other great folk singers through the centuries all act the way you do often?
Oh no, 'cause most of them were eccentrics. For example, you take Voodoo Rothman.
For example, we'll take Voodoo Rothman.
Yes, Voodoo Rothman, the half-breed Apache, the old mystic singer of hypnotic fame. With his great voice and his evil eye patch, he could sing on the wild beasts and make them tame.
He could sing on the wild beasts and make them tame.
Like one night we're having a folk song stomp on the bayous of Louisiana town, when a big bull alligator come out of the swamp. Voodoo says, hold up, I'm gonna sing him down.
Voodoo says, hold up, I'm gonna sing him down.
When he heard Voodoo chanting, that gator stopped panting, sang, Voodoo, you're now stiff as sugar cane. That gator just froze from his teeth to his toes. Then he got Voodoo right in the jugular vein.
Then he got voodoo right in the jugular vein.
Greensleeves, with thy hair of silver, thine heart of gold, wouldst thou tell us, please tell us, who's the greatest of all folk singers?
And who else but me, Eddie Greensleeves?
But Eddie, what about Belafonte? You're a comment on bias, you surely have.
Fine wine, that Belafonte, but make mine Chianti, and see what the buyers in the back room will have.
Yes, we'll see what the bias in the back room will have. Greensleeves, with thy hair of silver, thine heart of gold, wouldst thou tell us, please tell us, who's the greatest of all folk singers?
And who else but me, Eddie Greensleeves? The calypso musician takes his art very seriously. Now you take the great arranger and conductor Lead Sheet Stevens. Here's a man who puts calypso singing right up there with motherhood and highway safety. In that order. It is he who found the original words to this calypso, which you've heard sung incorrectly so many times. Me daddy say go to school and study law, but I would much rather learn to be first draw. There ain't no scholar that make the dollar like the fella on the TV. Me daddy say study book bring him success, but I reply, Daddy, look at Big Jim Arness. Are you ready? Ma Dillon, he make the money with the gun, not the Yale law. Ma Dillon, Ma Dillon, Ma Dillon, he make the money with the gun, not the Yale law. Now the chorus. Not the statistician. He's on television. Me daddy say go to Johns Hopkins and see. You study medicine, become a great MD. And I say, that's right, Pop, you see the light, Pop, I want to be an MD. That stands for Matt Dillon, has the same initials as the medical officials. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. Now the audience, Matt Dillon, when he take the villain, then he make $1 million. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. He's not a bachelor of science in the electrons, but you can bet your life he's fine in the stocks and bonds. With his 6-shooter as his computer, he really makes a killing in the market. Dillon became a big investor with the help of Chester. He make the money with the gun and the yellow. All together. He is sitting pretty with Chester, Doc, and Kitty. He make the money with the gun and the yellow. At Columbia you learn anthropology, but Daddy, please extend my apology. To Charles Darwin I'd rather star in a western on TV, because like I would not be happy in pursuit of Homo sapien. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. Everybody! Dillon, he don't have to get work. He's on the network. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. Me daddy say go to school at UCLA, but I say, Daddy, that's what I try to say, because UCLA every day from the studio window in Hollywood. Not a PhD man, but he's a CBS man. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. Everybody all together. Don't mean Matilda, not singing about my Zelda. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. Sing a little louder. Thanks to Belafonte, with apologies to Sherman. He make the money with the gun, not the yellow. Sing a little softer. To him I'm very partial. I'm gonna kill you, Marshal. Not Dillon, he make the money with the gun, not the yellow.